Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I'm going to be listening to He Was a Friend of Mine. The note I have says one of Bob's first recorded performances at the Greenwich Village coffee houses. I hope I have the right one. It says live at the Gaslight 1961. This one says rare. You see, there's so many options. It's kind of confusing to figure out which one is the best one to listen to. And I know this was one of those that was like recommended by Bobby. And it kind of supports a kind of chronological experience of the Bob Dylan's work. So that's really what I was hoping to do. I'm gonna go with the studio and then I'll go back. I'm gonna mute. That's beautiful.
He was a friend of mine. He was a friend of mine. Every time I think about him now, Lord, I just can't keep from crying. 'Cause he was a friend of mine. He died on the road.
Sorry.
He died. He died on the road. He died on the road. He never had enough money to pay his room or board. And he was a friend of mine. I stole away and cried. I stole away and cried. 'Cause I never had too much money, and I've never been quite satisfied. And he was a friend of mine. He never done no wrong. He never done no wrong. 1,000 miles from home, and he never harmed no one. And he was a friend of mine. He was a friend of mine. He was a friend of mine. Every time I hear his name, Lord, I just can't keep from crying. 'Cause he was a friend of mine.
I really enjoyed the opening to the song.
He
I think like Bob Dylan is really, really good with the harmonica. As if that was not expressed or like not necessary. What's the word expressed that I'm looking for? As if that wasn't clear from like ages ago. Bob Dylan is really, really good with the harmonica. Like, he communicates so much emotion and pain through the harmonica, and I think, it's really well done. Regarding this song in particular, I think, as I was navigating my own journey with grief, I I remember there was there's a Reddit or a subreddit called, I think it's called Loss or Grief Support. I think it's called Grief Support. And people would come on and tell all these stories about, all the people they've lost. And, you know, one of the things about losing or loss, everybody loses something or someone at some point, right? And so the thing about that subreddit was that if you thought you were the only person that lost somebody, I think it just corrected that and, allowed you to kind of take the focus off yourself and focus on somebody else and provide comfort, or reassurance or whatever it is that, you thought you needed to do in that case. And I remember a story of this one young woman who said that her best friend had passed away and she was really struggling to like eat and to do anything because she and this person used to do everything. And they expressed that because they're not a family member, they didn't feel like they were supposed to feel as sad, or like their grief was being like respected or something to that effect. Probably both, probably all. Think about all the things I haven't said, right? And so it was really sad, and it made me think about the friends who lose friends and how much pain they feel, but they often have no support group or anybody to speak to about that loss. And so, this song really resonates for that reason. I think I'm gonna like probably continually be impressed by Bob Dylan's ability to kind of lift the pages and write things that people often don't write about or speak about or think about. It's really, really good, his ability to do that. As I mentioned, like in our conversation in our monthly hangout, you know, Bob Dylan examines the pauses in between the sentences and the space between the paragraphs. And that's truly so remarkable that his mind goes there and questions those things. So, a beautiful song, a lovely recommendation, very sad, but also comforting. And that's also how I felt about the other one we listened to, which what was Tomorrow's a Long Time? Yes. That's how I felt about Tomorrow's a Long Time. Like the overwhelming sentiment is not that the song is sad, but more so that the song is comforting and reassuring. Yes, the experience is sad, but the song is a form of support, and so it's it's really beautiful. And I don't know if he just wrote this on the strength of I'm going to write something else, or he really did lose somebody, but you know beautifully expressed. I don't know. Says every time I think about him now, Lord, I just can't keep from crying because he was a friend of mine. A beautiful song. It's interesting when you deal with loss, and I think if you really internalize it and you think beyond your own loss and you start thinking about other people's loss, you might find that you can't stop yourself from crying even if he wasn't a friend of yours. Because now death and loss isn't abstract, It's something that impacts real people. So, beautiful song again from Bob Dylan. Beautiful work. Really enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. And if you've lost somebody or you lost a friend, I'm sorry. And I'm sorry is not good enough, and it's never good enough, right? It's never good enough. But well, I'll talk to you about this in another time, but I guess just a little moose boosh for the conversation that's coming up is one of the things I think I've realized, having lost somebody that was very near and dear to my heart, is that I'm gonna cry, and I really need to be strong and hold on, because I'm gonna have to talk to you about this anyways. Whoever we've lost, they're special people, and we want to remember them and honor them and keep their legacy alive and all these different things. But I think my mind keeps going to the fact that before I lost this person, they were a living person, and the people who ought to have cared for and taken care of this person didn't do it, and they died, and now that's it. And if there's anything that it's taught me, it's to appreciate the living. And I appreciate the living more because I love the person that died so much. Because she was always there to be discovered by people if they wanted to look, if they wanted to see, if they wanted to discover her. But now she's dead. And so when I meet strangers and as I'm talking to you and as we're becoming friends, I know that it's my opportunity to meet you and to embrace you and to find out and to find out and to find out who you are. I think that's my responsibility to the dead is to love the living. It's a beautiful song, as are all these other songs that have really, roused such emotion and such thought. Well then, thank you so much for being here. We have quite the conversation to have, not next week, but the week after. And so, as I said, this is an amuse bouche to what's coming. But yeah, thanks again, and I'll catch you on the next one. Until then, peace.